Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my monthly favorites and fails check-in. This is for June. So I can't believe it's July. It is July 4th as I film this. And I just can't believe how fast June went by. We had so many events, so many things going on. We were just going all the time. And then now for July, I'm going to be out of the country for half of the month. So things are flying by. But I like to do this every month. I come back at the beginning of the month, end of the month, depending on when I film, and talk about all of the products that I've been using for the last month. Some of these are things that I've done a first impression on, some of them I've done a full review on, some I haven't really used on camera, and some of them are old products that I've just been using a lot. So happy to talk about these. Very excited to show you some of these things, especially some of the new things that I haven't shown on camera. Yeah, let's get into it. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a definite soft spot for indie makeup and high-end / luxury makeup. And I definitely have both of those here today. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to the content I make, be it reviewing new things or just talking about things I already know and love. And I have new videos every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so I just filmed this look. I did my makeup off camera, and I'm gonna be I did use a lot of these products, so we'll talk about that as we get to them. And then for the eyeshadow, I did use the new Byredo palette. This is the Desert Road palette. Just filmed a video going over this now that I've had it for a couple weeks. That video will probably go up after this, next week. That will probably be in my next video. So if you want details on how I did this, it'll be there. And if you want detailed thoughts on if I think this is worth it, but I will talk about it a little bit today because I have had it for June. And the rest of everything will be linked in the description box like normal. Okay, so there is a mix of things that I bought myself, things that I got in PR, some new things, some old things. I think this is a nice mix. Hopefully this won't be the longest video, but there will be, you know, if it is, it is. So I think I'm gonna start with, I have one skincare item, and then I have some fragrances, and then we'll go on to makeup. So the one skincare item I have is the Kosas Plump and Juicy Spray. So this is their vegan collagen spray-on serum. I've had multiple of these. They sent me one in PR, and I've bought it multiple times. I bought this recently because I was missing it. I hadn't had it for a few months, and I'm very happy I bought it. I'm very excited to take this to Europe. I do have a travel size bottle that I had before that I'm just gonna refill because this does unscrew, so I don't have to lug this whole thing around. This, on the plane or after you get off to rehydrate your skin, it's really nice. It is a nice plumping, it is like a serum, a plumping collagen serum, but it's spray form, it's hydrating, it feels nice. I've used this many times. I will have it linked down below. I'm very thankful that Kosas sent it to me the first time, but then they got me hooked and I've had to buy it myself multiple times. But they were having a 20% off sale recently, so I went ahead and bought a new one, and I am very happy to have this back in my life. Kind of wish I would have bought two while it was on sale. But Kosas, if you do see this, because I know sometimes they see my videos since they send me PR, I love this so much. It's so good. I don't think it replaces my other serums necessarily, but if I feel like my skin's a little dry, I have kind of normal skin. My T-zone can be a little oily, but especially this time of year, it's sunny, it's hot, I'm in the sun more, I'm walking, because I walk to work, I walk to run errands, I don't drive. So having this really hydrating serum is really nice. I'll use it in the morning when I first wake up, especially if I'm not immediately gonna do my skincare and shower and stuff. And then sometimes today, ran errands for a couple hours, walking around in the sun, came home and immediately sprayed this on my face, and it just plumped up my skin, felt good. So happy to have it. Normally I'd start the video with fails, but I don't have any. So very happy about that. I personally don't like having fails that much because I trial and error is fine. If things don't work for me, that's fine. And I can tell you why they don't work for me, but might work for you. But because I buy most, if not half to most of the products that I have on the channel, having a fail just means that, I kind of wasted my money. So I'm kind of happy I don't have any. Okay, so let's get into fragrance next. I have some candles and some perfumes. First, I will talk about this. This is from Replica. This is the From the Garden scent. I bought this at the beginning of June, I think. I had a Rouge reward and I needed a new Haus Labs lip oil, and I wanted to get persimmon in this formula because I love this formula, and I had a cool tone version, so I wanted a warm tone version, and I got something else, and then I bought this. And I have zero regrets. I've been wanting this for a while. This is a beautiful scent. I would totally buy a full-size bottle of this. I took this with us to LA. I think that was technically the end of May when we went to LA, so I've had this for May and June. So I bought this in May. I love this. I wore this, this is all I wore when we were in LA, and I'm definitely taking this with to Europe. It's fresh and fruity. It definitely smells like a garden. There's a little bit of a tomato leaf note, but not like tomato, like the plant, like tomato, but like tomato leaf, which is one of my favorite scents, like going to the grocery store and buying tomato on the vine. If you like that smell, it's there. It's not like the only scent you get. There's some herbalness to it. There's some citrus. It's just really beautiful. I don't remember the notes off the top of my head, but if you like a summery garden kind of vegetal, earthy, fresh scent, highly recommend checking this out. They sell it at Sephora, so I was able to smell it at Sephora, like on a test strip, and spray it on my arm and wear it out and stuff before I bought it. I definitely recommend checking it out. I really like that they do kind of scent memory things, kind of like Dias and Durga, where they say this is a garden, this is a date night. A lot of them I don't like. I think I understand what they're doing, they're just not in scents for me. This one's definitely a scent for me. So very happy I got this. Would love to get a full-size bottle. There's some other ones from them I really like as well. Under the Lemon Tree is a really nice summer scent. Autumn Vibes is a really nice one. I like a handful, and then there's some where I'm like, I can see why someone would like this, but I don't. The other perfume that I have that is new is the new Boy Smells Cit Rush. It's hard to say because you want to say citrus. Wow, I can't even say that now. I've also used quite a bit of this. I need a full-size bottle of this. They don't make that. I need a full-size bottle. I'm tempted to buy another bundle where you get the candle in this. This was my last video, and it's not doing well. I don't care. I didn't think it would do very well. But the gimmick for this is that it's poppers inspired. If you've never smelled poppers, that's fine. This doesn't actually smell like poppers. This is a really lovely summer scent though. But that's why it's Cit Rush, because Rush is a brand of poppers. This has citrus, like pomelo, and if you want, I have that whole video, but this has pomelo, which is kind of grapefruity, and then pepper, like black pepper slash green bell pepper. Not quite green bell pepper, but like more on that. Not like paprika, more like black pepper, bell pepper kind of smell. Very fresh, but like that little bit of groundingness, so it's not just like up here bright citrus. There's like that little bit of depth to it. And then like a skin musk, not like musky in a super masculine way, which I don't generally like, but just very like your skin, like a skin smell. It has some of those notes in it that are supposed to smell like I don't know what from Dias and Durga, or Juliet Has Again Not a Perfume. It has that as well. Glossier U. So it's got like an amplified version of that, like that and musk. So it's kind of a skin-like smell. So it smells like skin, citrus, and pepper. And I don't like how often people say obsessed in beauty content and influencer content in general. Not that I consider myself an influencer, but content creators use obsessed a lot, especially influencers. But I am obsessed. I do have obsessive compulsive disorder, so there's part of that, but I can't stop wearing this. I have to force myself to use other things because I just want to smell like this nonstop. To go along with that, I also have the candle, and I have two other candles that we'll talk about in a second, in case you didn't see that video. This is the same exact scent. Because this is a candle and it's not gonna dry down on your skin, they do smell a little different. I feel like you lose a little bit of the citrus with the perfume because that's the top note. It's gonna fade. It's there. Like if you smell later, you still smell it, but you're mostly getting like pepper and musk like that. This, because it's just a candle, it's gonna burn burns really well, smells very strong, filled the apartment. I mean, this apartment's like 600 square feet, but like it filled the apartment. This, you get a little bit more of that like bell pepper brightness and earthiness with the citrus, and it doesn't fade, it stays there. So it's like the musk, the bell pepper brightness, and this all together, it's just beautiful. And I hope these are permanent and last, because I will 100% be getting another one of these. So if anyone at Boy Smells sees my last video or this video, please make sure these are permanent, and please make a full size of the perfume because they need it. The other two candles that I got from them are from their Farm to Candle collection, which they had a first original bundle. This is like the 2.0, and I bought 2 of the 4. So I got Shroom Bloom and Bramble. These are both on sale. This collection is like 30% off, I think still, when this video is up. I love these. I'm gonna burn Bramble today, I think. If you want really in-depth thoughts, watch the video that went up the other day. But this is got blackberry, strawberry, rhubarb notes, so like that bright, fresh fruit, but not like in a sweet way, like in a fresh fruit way, mixed with basil and amber and cedar. So it's a little earthy, and it just smells perfectly like walking through a summer garden. So this is like walking through a summer garden with like more vegetables, like more tomatoey, vegetable-y. And this is walking through a summer garden that has a lot of berries and berry bushes. Love both. I think there's a candle version of this. I want it now as well. I love both. I'm very happy I got them. And then Shroom Bloom is a little bit more like that transition to fall. It's got some white floral, so it's got freesia and black tea. The black tea is very strong. I love the smell of black tea, and I drink a cup of black tea every morning, at least one. And I drink a lot of tea in the fall, so I think that's probably where the fall connotation is coming for me. And then sandalwood, moss, vetiver. So moss and vetiver were both green and fresh, 2 of my favorite notes in the world. And adding that slightly earthy, like saffron and sandalwood, it's so nice. It's so nice. I really love these. We have become quite the candle. I mean, I've always liked candles, but we have purchased quite a few expensive candles lately, and there's other ones that I want that I will hopefully be buying. And then the last candle thing, fragrance thing, is a new candle from Dias and Durga. So this, I have like 5 Dias and Durga candles, and I have a bunch of their perfumes. I love Dias and Durga. They're one of my favorite scent brands. This just came out. I saw it, sent it to my husband, and he was like, I need it, and bought it. So this is Swedish. This is a collaboration with Volvo. And my husband is a car nerd and would love to have a Volvo. So I knew he would like that as soon as I saw that was the collaboration. But then I saw the inspiration, and I was like, this also is a scent he's gonna like. So it says Swedish, grounding Swedish forest woods under purple toned skies for your epic journey. So the notes are white pine, oak leaf, orris root, and birch. And birch is one of my husband's favorite scents. So I was like, well, he needs this. And I sent it to him, and he was like, oh my God, I need that. And he bought it, and we've been burning it the last couple days. It smells very fall-y. I don't think this is gonna, I think we'll burn it one more time this summer, but I think this is gonna be more of a fall scent with the Shroom Bloom. It does have that birch, it has the pine, but it's not like Christmas tree pine. Like, it smells not like you just brought a Christmas tree in a house or you're around Christmas trees, but like you're in the park and you're in the forest and there's pine and birch and like leaves around you with like a nice earthy base. It's just really beautiful. If you like those kind of notes, I think you should check this out. I'll have it linked in the description box like everything else. They're not the most expensive candle. I think it's like 40 something. I think it's worth it. And then yeah, it's a collaboration with Volvo, which I just think is interesting and funny. But it smells like, I think back to being in the north. So Seattle, is where I live right now. Lots of trees, but it's mostly evergreens. This, I've never been to Sweden, but I've been to Germany. I've worked in Germany. Been to France. I'm about to go back. And I lived in the Northeast for a long time. And this kind of smells like that Northeast fall smell, like the summer heat is going away and the trees aren't changing yet. So you still smell like the forest around you, but it's not like the hot sweltering heat. And there's like birch trees and cedar and I don't remember all of the trees. Pine, oak. Oak was a big thing on the East Coast. There's all of those trees around you and you're like walking through the forest. That's what this smells like and I love it and I hope it's a permanent one because when this candle's done, we're definitely buying another one. Okay, now on to makeup. Hopefully I'm a little faster. Just talked about those longer than I anticipated and I also have to cook dinner soon. So, I'll talk about eyeshadow last, so let's talk about complexion. First thing, the Makeup by Mario Liquid Bronzer. I cannot stop using this. I know I used this on camera, I think the end of May is when I got this and used it on camera for the first time. I have used this basically every day since then. Even when I'm not really wearing other makeup, I'll put a little bit of this and a little bit of concealer on, and it just like, or a little of this in my skin tint, perfects my skin. I've already used it down to about here. I love this. So I got the shade medium. It has a nice warm golden undertone. It's very sheer, so you can pump it out or use it with the doe foot. I used it multiple ways in that video, so if you want to see, I would check that out. But my favorite is I put a little on the back of my hand, like I'll pump, use a fluffy synthetic brush, and I kind of brush it around the perimeter of my face to add that warmth. And I just love it. It looks very natural. It dries down to a skin-like finish. You can't tell it's there. And you can build it up if you want a little bit more of a sculpt, but it's very, very natural, and I love it so much. I was very intrigued by it and just had to get it, and I have zero regrets. Love it. So the next complexion thing that I want to mention is something I've had for a few months now. It's the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint. This has been my go-to complexion product since I bought it. I have used my Surratt Dewdrop foundation when I want a little bit more coverage, and I've pulled out other ones for filming and stuff just because, you know, but day to day, I wear this basically every day. I still have a lot of product in here. I love this. And I wanted to point it out again because it is now hot here in Seattle. It is 81 degrees today. And I have worn this out in that weather and it still lasts all day. I have normal to oily skin, like my nose gets a little oily. I sweat a lot on my forehead. This lasts all day. It looks good. I've worn it to work events where we had like a rooftop party at work after work. So I wore it to work all day and then to that party until, 7 or 8. Still look good. Love this. Taking this with to Europe, I have shade Teen 9, which is the like medium olive. I do think it is a little light on me now, but I can warm up my complexion with this and have a really sheer natural look with just these two products. I am going to be in London in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna go to like Liberty London or something to Lisa's counter, and I wanna look at some of the lipsticks that I haven't bought, and I wanna look at T10 and see if that might be a better summer shade for me. But this plus this, beautiful combination, so I don't mind having to warm it up with this, but love it. And really happy that it still looks good and works well in this heat, because I haven't tried it in like humidity because it doesn't really get humid here. Although it was humid the other day, that was weird. But in the summer, I want my skin to look better, but I don't tend to want, when it's hot, I don't want a lot of product on my face and I don't want to feel product on my face. So having a couple sheer things that I can do to really even out my skin tone and make it look better and natural is exactly what I want, and I really love those. So next is going to be blush. I have 2 blushes to talk about, and then 2 things that aren't technically a blush, but I have been using as blush. So the first, Haus Labs. This is Glassy Tangelo. I used this in the same video as the Mario if you want to see it applied. I really love this. I've been wearing it all the time. The other shades all look a little pink to me, like mauve or pink. They're all a little, there's even a lilac that looks pretty, but I really wish they would have done Fire Moon, which is their powder blush that's kind of brown. I wish they would have put that in this stick form. So this is the only shade I have, but I really like this. It is very shiny. I am wearing it today over the other blush that I'm going to mention. So I have it right here. It is very shiny. If you put it on your finger and just kind of tap it in, you can get a lot of pigment. You can get a lot of that like glass that they say in the name. I really like this formula, and it lasts all day. For something that is shiny like that and glowy, it doesn't stay tacky, it does dry down, and it lasts all day. Which for a cream product that's shiny, that's kind of rare. I don't have to reapply this. It looks good all day. Really love this formula. I hope they expand the shade range because they all generally all in kind of pink, which is not really my thing for blush. But it is a really lovely formula, and you can wear it on the lips too. It's just really great. I can't say anything bad about it so far. The other product is another one that I bought. So Surratt does send me PR, and I do have some Surratt PR coming up to talk about, but this is one of their liquid blushes, and this I did by myself. So this is the shade Cantaloupe. I have this in the powdered version, and I really love it. And when they sent me PR a while back, they sent me Barba Papa, which I can't say without thinking of Tom. They sent me that, which is a pink, a baby pink. The powder version has kind of a blue shift to it. The liquid is just a baby pink. It is really pretty. My best friend used it for Pride. She wore it when we went out for Pride this last weekend. And I do like it, but I might end up giving it to her if she liked it because I just don't wear pink blush very often. So I wanted this because this is a nice golden melon color. So you can see it is pretty sheer. These are beautiful. They do dry down, they do last all day. I am wearing this as a base, so I have it all over here. And then I have a little bit of the Haus Lab one on top right here. I love this. You can't overdo it. I've layered 3-4 layers of this, and it just gives this watercolor effect of orangey peach to the skin, like this golden melon. They have a few, I think they have 4 shades of this. I really like the formula. I kind of want them to come out with more of a brown leaning one, kind of like Haus Labs. I'll swatch this next to that. But you can see the Haus Labs is way more opaque, and you can see that shine, how it's much more orange. These work really well together. If I want like a true no makeup look where it doesn't look like I have anything, but I want to have a little color, I'll use Cantaloupe. If I want a little bit more color and sheen, I'll use Haus Labs, or today, I used both. But really love these. Very happy I finally ordered that for myself. I probably could have asked Surratt to send it to me in PR, and they probably would have, but they've sent me so many things. I was like, I just need it. I'm just gonna buy it. Okay, so the last 2 blush things are not technically blushes, but I have been using them as blushes. So the first is another Byredo, a Byredo product, and it is one of their color sticks. So this is the shade Ancient. I've been wanting to try these forever. This one's been sold out online for a while, but Nordstrom here in Seattle, like the flagship store, had it in stock, so I bought it. These are a stick that you can use anywhere on the face. This is kind of a warm red shade, a reddy brown. Swatch it right there. I do really like the component. This I've not used on camera, but you can see, or I've had it on camera, but not talked about it or applied it, but it's magnetic. There are multiple formulas. Some are sparkly, some are dewy, some are more matte. So you can see it's kind of this like deep burgundy. This works really well, like as a sheer layer over blush to like add a little bit more depth and sculpt, especially up here, because it does blend out really nicely. So you can see how it gets a little more red as it blends out. And it does have a little bit of gold sparkle, but I don't really notice it on the cheeks when I use it. I put it on the lips and it does look really cool there. And I've worn this on the eye a couple times. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it on the eyes yet. So this is not a fail. I'm still trying to figure it out. So I've worn it with eye primer, and because it is a more of an emollient kind of situation, it did crease on me. It didn't like melt away. Like sometimes products, if they're too emollient, like you look at my eye and it looks like I didn't put anything on. It didn't do that. It definitely just kind of creased in right here in my crease. And I kind of liked the way it looked. It kind of gave that like messy 90s creasy smoky eye vibe, which I do enjoy. Not every day, but I do enjoy it. So I like it for that. I'm trying to see if I can figure out a way to get it to like not crease, and I'll report back, but I still like it. Oh, I almost forgot. The last blush thing that's not actually a blush is Lisa Eldridge, her Velveteen Dragon liquid lipstick. So this is the only of the liquid lipsticks I have. I also want a fair. I just don't wear liquid lipsticks that often. I do really like this. It's not drying. It lasts really well. It's a really pretty color. I need Velvet Dragon, like the bullet still. And I do know Lisa uses her bullet lipsticks as blush all the time, but I've been using her liquid lipstick as a blush. So I've been mixing this with either my Auric Glow Lust or Lisa Eldridge, her liquid highlighter that I have, which I love. Mix a little bit of them, like a tiny dot of that into one of these, and put that on the cheek. And it is the prettiest, kind of orangey warm blush. It's kind of like this, but a little, you know, glowy. I'll put a little dot of it right here so you can kind of just see the color. It's very red, but once it's blended out, especially with that liquid highlighter, you get a little bit of gold, you get a little bit of like coral tone to it, depending on what liquid highlighter you're mixing it with, and it looks really beautiful, and it lasts all day. And I really like, I've actually been using this more in June and more lately in general as a blush than a lipstick, because it just lasts all day. But then also if you use it as a lipstick, then it's kind of monochromatic. And then next in complexion, and I think this is probably one of the last complexion products I have, is Surratt's highlighters. So these are the same formula. This is the Artistique liquid highlighter instead of the Artistique liquid blush. They sent me all three of these. So there's Frou Frou, which is an iridescent pink, Chi Chi, which is a bronze, and Lame, which is a gold. These are all made in Japan. It's the same kind of applicator where it twists up and it comes out of a sponge tip. So you can use the sponge to blend it out. That's Lame. These are really beautiful. I'm really happy I asked for all three. I'm not gonna use the iridescent pink too much. I might end up giving that to my bestie as well with, but I have worn it and I do think it looked really pretty. Because it is that iridescent tone. So you can see it looks kind of white and pink at the same time. Lame is a little gold, and then Chi Chi is bronze, and it's the one I use the most. Today I have a combination of Lame and Chi Chi on throughout this part of my face. They dry down, they last all day. They look very natural and kind of glow within, but if you layer them up, you can get pretty bright. I just really like them. I really like a liquid or cream blush, or not cream blush, cream highlighter, because I feel like it gives you a more natural look to the skin. It doesn't look like you have highlighter on, it just looks like you have a glow. And these definitely do that. They are a little expensive, but I love them. I do have a code with Surratt. I'll have it all in the description box. But I really like these, and I'm very thankful that they sent them to me. Okay, so the last complexion product that I have before we move on to basically eyeshadow is the Hourglass powder. So this is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Pressed Powder. I have the shade medium. I really like this. I also have the Kosas Pressed Powder, and then I have the Haus Labs Loose Powder. Those are the powders I have right now. And I really like this. I think it's a little more convenient than the Kosas because it does come with this. I think it provides a little bit more blur than the Kosas does, but I do still really love the Kosas. I think this, it just sets the makeup a little bit, but not, like if you're really oily, I would use a different powder to set. But it adds like a nice blurring, slightly matte, but not too matte, very skin-like finish to the skin, and I really like it. I use it with a brush all over the face, and it keeps my face looking nice. And then if I really need to, I take it with me to work, and I can touch up with the little puff, and it never looks powdery or cakey. I just pinch myself. Really like it. It is an expensive powder, but I have zero regrets. I think if you need something that's very oil controlling, you're not gonna like it. But if you're like normal to maybe a little dry, I think there's a good chance you'll like it. So worth checking. Okay, before I move on to eyeshadow, I did want to mention, I don't think I mentioned these in my last month's video. These are the Lisa Eldridge lip balms. I am currently wearing the shade Red Curve. I really love these. These are a beautiful, hydrating, cushioning lip balm. They last really long on the lips. I have Metropolis as well, and I really want Sweet Fig now. I really like these. I've been drinking a tepache while I film, and you know, it's transferred a little bit, but not too bad. Looks nice on the lips. Every time I wear this, especially the red, people ask what I'm wearing. It's beautiful. Definitely gonna look at the other colors when I'm in London in a couple weeks. Okay, so now time for eyeshadow. This is often my biggest part of the video because it is the thing that I have this biggest weakness for. I think this is a pretty tame version this time. So I don't have any, I do have one non-eyeshadow thing to mention, and it is Surratt's lash tint. So I haven't opened it yet. I did when I bought Kindle, I did buy a replacement for the lash tint. It's my favorite mascara, High Beam. I love it. I can wear it every day with like no other makeup, and it just kind of makes my eyes look more awake because it adds a little tint. If you layer it up, it looks more like mascara. It is one of the few things that holds a curl on my lashes. I love it. My best friend also bought one when I bought this, or I bought one, she gave me, you know, Venmo'd me for it, and she wore it to Pride, and she was like, this is amazing, I love this. So it is expensive, it's like $50, but on sale it was like $37, and 100% worth it at $37. Actually, even for $50, I'd probably still buy it, but definitely at $37. So before eyeshadow palettes, I have a couple liquid shadows to mention. So Florasis, I say Florasis, I think. I've heard people say it multiple ways. They recently launched liquid eyeshadows, and they sent me all 12 of them. I have not used all of them yet, so I will do a video review when I do that. But for now, I've used 3, and Natasha, my best friend, has used the green one as well. She wore this to Pride. It does dry down pretty quickly, but she, you know, blended easily. She had no issues. It is very green. I love that. And then I have also used the brown and like the champagne. So the brown is the shade, oh, I don't see the shade name on here. It's on the box, but the brown is really pretty. It is a little more cool toned, not like cool gray, but kind of like cool chocolatey brown. Really pretty as a base for a look, or I've used it to deepen up another look that was powder, and it blended onto that really nicely. Really like that. And then I could swatch these on my hand. I don't know why I'm not doing that. So here's the green. And there's some blues. There's some really pretty colors. I just haven't had a chance. That is a green. And then here's the brown. And it is really pretty. I have other brown liquid shadows, but this is different. You can see it does lean a little cool. Most of the other ones I have lean a little more warm, like a little more red-brown. So having a slightly cooler chocolatey brown is a really nice option. And then this is the sparkly shade. This is shade number 7. There's a few of these sparkly ones in there. And this, it's very shiny, very metallic. You can also buff it out and just kind of get like a wash of sparkle, like iridescent sparkle, which is something I love with a powder shadow. So having a liquid shadow that does that is really nice. These dry down, they last all day. She wore the green to Pride, and I've worn the brown a few times. And like at Pride, we were there for 7 hours. It was sunny and hot, then it was not, then it was raining, and then it was pouring, and we were in the rain for hours, and it still looked fine. So, I mean, my makeup, I did kind of something similar that I did today, also lasted all day. So, very impressed with these so far, but once I've used all of them, I'll do like an in-depth review if you would all like that. Okay, so I've just got a couple eyeshadow palettes to talk about. The first is the Byredo. I mentioned at the beginning, I am wearing this today. I just did a video doing this look. So if you want in-depth thoughts and swatches and to see how the shadows perform, go check that out. That'll come up. That'll probably be my next video on like Tuesday or Wednesday. This is just a really pretty desert toned palette. I really like it. It is a different formula from the big palettes, but I don't regret buying it. And I think it's a really pretty everyday kind of palette, especially for this time of the year. Yeah, I really like this. And then I did get some more PR from What's Up Beauty. So I haven't used this yet, but I did want to mention they just sent me the Dragon palette, Dragon Eye. This looks beautiful. I've swatched a couple of the shades, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this because you've got like nice neutrals, you've got warm neutrals, cool neutrals, and then really beautiful shimmers. So I'm gonna try this soon. I just haven't had a chance yet. But I did play with the Geodes palette a handful of times this month. I really like it. I did wear this in a video sometime recently, and I've used it off camera. I think this is a really nice formula. These are made in Italy, so the mattes are really soft and silky, and they blend nicely. Like some of the better mattes that I've used in a long time. They're not as, if you've used like a Natasha Denona or a Pat McGrath, those are a little stiffer. These are a little lighter, but still really beautiful. So like if you don't like Natasha Denona's mattes because you feel like there's a little too much stiffness to them, I think you'll like these. And then the shimmers in here are all really beautiful. Some are a little more opaque and have a little bit more body to them, but still a lot of sparkle, and some are more sheer and just sparkle. I am very grateful they sent this to me in PR. I'm very excited to have both of these and to keep playing with them. And then the last two things. So Natasha Denona Golden. This video came out, I think, in May, but I've continued to use it and I still really love it. I think I like gold as a palette better because it has a little more variety to it, but I think this is a worthy succession. She added some brighter shades so that people who are lighter, or if you're like me and you want like a matte inner corner shade, you have those. And I think the shimmers in this perform better than the old ones. I think she has upgraded her formula over the years, and she used the new one in this, and I really love that. I kind of wish she would have just made gold with the teals and everything, but I still really love this, and I'm not mad that I bought it. So I think this has been a go-to for me so far this summer, and I think it's going to continue to be when I don't want to use this. And then the last thing is something else that I got in PR, and it is the new Nomad palette. So this is the Nomad Key West palette. It's the Keys, Beachy, and Peachy palette. They did send this to me in PR. I do have a video up with this. I didn't get it up before the launch like normal, but I did get one up. And I really like this. I think it's not gonna be my favorite Nomad palette, but their summer palettes never really are. They're like liked, but not loved. It's just very bright and colorful and poppy. So you've got some pastel shades here, and this green, and then you've got more mid-tone bright shades, this really vibrant coral, and then some really beautiful shimmers. I love the blue shimmers the most, but this bronzy one worked really well. The reds are really pretty. I have zero complaints for this if it's what you're looking for. So I do have a code with Nomad. It's Bones. It's not affiliated. I don't earn money from it. But I think this is a really fun, summery, almost rainbow palette. But I don't think it's gonna be my favorite just because I don't wear bright pastel-y looks as often as I do something like this, or something like smoky and green. Like those are where my instincts lie. But for a fun pop of color, I think this is really pretty, and I do know people who their default is this, so I think this could be one of their favorite palettes. So definitely worth checking out. Love the shimmers in here. The pastels worked well. I think, yeah, this is a really lovely palette. If you want, check out the video. I did multiple looks. I really like this. And thank you, Nomad, again, for sending that. I always appreciate when they send me palettes. So, almost done. Just remembered one thing. So these I've only had for about a week. So I will report back later, but they are a limited edition item, so I did want to bring them up now. And these are the new brushes from Sonia G. So these are her summer koi brushes. They are the persimmon dyed ones again, which I really love. I have the other ones and I use them all the time. I used them today for this look. I used one of these as well. But then they have the special hand painted handles, and these have this really beautiful motif of, I'll just hold one, the gold koi going towards this lotus on the blue handle. I saw these and I was like, love the handle. Did not get the crane set because it sold out too fast, and really enjoy these shapes. I feel like these are gonna fill in places really nicely, and I've already been using them a lot. So you've got a nice blending brush. This is a little bit stiffer and round, so especially if you put something on, you need to buff it. Really nice for that. You've got this little perfect crease brush. I did use this today. You've got a nice packing brush. So for under the eyes, packing out here. It's a little bit smaller than some of the other ones I have, which I appreciate. Like here is one of her other ones that's more, this one's squirrel hair, but you can see it's a little, this one's a little fluffier and a little longer. So this is a little bit more precise, which I enjoy. And then a really interesting pencil brush. So it's a pencil brush, but it's fatter and like thicker on one angle than the other. So you can kind of use it as a pencil brush. You can use it flat. It's a really nice detailed brush. I've used it on the inner corner or like buff something right here. Quality, super soft, just like everything else. Really beautiful. But I've only had these for about a week, so I didn't want to fully include them, but I did want to give them a little mention in case you were thinking about these. If you would like a full video on these, let me know, and I can try to do that in the next week before I go to Europe, so, and before they sell out. So just let me know. And with that, I am done. Been babbling for about an hour, so time to go cook dinner and eat. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these products. Have you picked up any of these? Have you tried them? What are your thoughts? Are you wish listing any of these? I love to talk to you and hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the look, all of that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, remember to like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and I will see you all in my next video.